guys, in this video we're going to be exploring a chemical reaction with an environmental message behind it. This is to do with acids and bases, and I usually do it following on from the acid and base neutralization experiment. So if you haven't watched that video, go back and watch it, because a lot of the sort of processes and theory behind it kind of tie into that last video and first discussed there. So this ticks any experiences and outcomes to do with chemical reactions, to do with the mixing of substances to produce a new substance, but also anything to do with perhaps current affairs through the likes of global warming, climate change, acid rain, all that sort of stuff. So this is a chemical reaction, but the learning point from it is to do with the environment. And it's something that I usually do it as a demonstration to the class, because I tack it onto the end of the acids and bases one, but there is nothing to say that you couldn't do this as a whole class experiment, or a whole, the whole class procedure, and have all of them participating in it. Things that you'll need for this experiment are a test tube filled with water, universal indicator solution, test tube with vinegar, and some bicarbonate of soda. And what we're going to be producing is a gas, which is carbon dioxide. So the reaction of sodium bicarbonate and vinegar, acetic acid, produces carbon dioxide. Now, I often don't tell the kids what exactly is going on here. I might give them a few prompting questions just to get them thinking along the right lines. But often I'll just let the lesson unfold, as I'm going to do on camera just now. So first of all, I'm going to be creating carbon dioxide, but I'm going to ask, where do we come across carbon dioxide in our everyday lives? Where have you heard of carbon dioxide being mentioned, maybe in the news? And kids will say things like, well, cars, power plants. Excellent, right, that's exactly what we're looking for. So cars, power plants, man-made CO2. Right, well, that's what we're considering today. I'm going to create some man-made CO2 using a chemical reaction. And we're going to watch what happens to this universal indicator solution. Now, they should be familiar with universal indicator already, because they should have done the previous neutralization experiment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of universal indicator into this water here, and we should see that it goes green, which it does. So I'll bring that up to the camera so you can see. So we've got a green solution there. That tells us that this test tube is neutral. Okay, so we have a neutral solution here. Perfect. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to introduce a tube, delivery tube connected to a bung into our neutral solution. And lastly, I'm going to put just a tiny amount of bicarbonate of soda into this, into the acetic acid area here, into the vinegar one. So I'm going to bring the camera up for this, just so you can see what happens. When I do this, we'll just watch what happens to the vinegar solution there. So hopefully you can see that. Can't quite see both of them. I'm going to move it back just a wee bit more. There we go. So I'm going to take our spatula and put just the tiniest amount. So I'm using really a very small amount here, probably even less than that, just to get a little bit of carbon dioxide being produced. I don't want it to travel up into the tube itself. That's important. So I'm going to pop it in there, and that's going to bubble up. We can see it bubbling through the universal indicator there. If we keep this going, yep, we're definitely starting to see a colour change there. We should see, let's move a wee bit closer, should see a definite change in the colour of the universal indicator there. Okay, so we've gone up to maybe pH, or gone down even, from pH 7 to about pH 6, maybe pH 5, so a sort of yellowy-orange colour. Right. So the question is then, just set up again, what does that tell us? What do we learn from that? Kids can venture various hypotheses, or conclusions that they might draw from that. But it's obvious that the carbon dioxide that's been produced has turned this slightly acidic. So the water has become slightly acidic. Right, so what conclusions can we draw from that? Well, we've got carbon dioxide in the environment. It's getting up into the atmosphere. Where do you have water in the upper atmosphere? Clouds. Okay, so could that carbon dioxide be dissolving in the water in the clouds? Absolutely. What's going to happen if the clouds are acidic? Well, you're going to get acid rain. And these are questions that the kids will be able to answer. You know, they put two and two together really quite quickly with this. So, through one very short experiment, taking so far less than 5 minutes, they've been able to demonstrate that carbon dioxide is one of the causes behind acid rain. And that's quite a, I think, quite a stark illustration. And hopefully something that will stick with them and perhaps even influence the way they live their lives, potentially. Cool wee demo, give it a shot. Cheers.